So I was going to start recording some programming stuff with solving problems on Code Wars and just recording my process and whatever. And I did that, or at least I thought I did. I recorded a 10-minute video and I went to go check it out, and there was no audio. So I thought maybe I should do a little video on how to set up the audio on OBS just in case anybody else needs help or is just as maybe just as dumb as me, because I just didn't pay attention. So when you open OBS, you want to make sure this thing is moving around down here when you're talking or noise is being made. And if it's not, you're going to want to go into, not that one, into properties and choose the right device until you see that thing bouncing around. For me, I believe it was on default. Moved it to built-in audio, and that works. But I was getting a lot of clipping. Sometimes your audio settings for recording the default settings are just a little bit too loud. You really don't want this thing. You want it more in the green, maybe a little bit in the yellow, but hardly ever reaching the red. Because when you're in the red or higher, you get what's known as clipping. And it's like you're going out of the range that your audio can record, and you start getting this cracking sound. It sounds kind of not as bad, but similar to when you go to order at a drive-through window and they're on the speaker. So in order to fix that, I tried lowering this down, because I think by default it's all the way up. And I did that, but it didn't fix. The volume was lower, but I was still getting clipping. So in order to fix that, now I'm on Manjaro Linux. It'll be somewhat different for everyone, depending on what distribution they're using or operating system. But the general idea is you want to go into the audio mixer, and from here, it might be here, it might be here, but from here it might look like you just want to move this. That's what I tried first, and no, it really doesn't do anything. I think it does maybe the same thing. What you really want to do is move over here into input devices, and I believe it'll be set to 100 most likely. Now what you want to do is, when you're not talking, when there's no noise except whatever ambient noise you may have, you'll have to make the decision on your own. But I have like a little refrigerator over here that makes a slight little buzzing noise, so I can't get complete silence, which is fine. But what you want to do is lower this thing, because when it was up here, it was bouncing about right here. Like with the volume I'm talking at right now is the volume it was doing constantly with my background noise. So when you're quiet, you want to pull this down, and watch, I'm going to be silent now, and you want it about the same level as mine. Just right about there. You want some bouncing. You don't want it to be completely silent, because then your audio and OBS, you'll sound like you're kind of talking behind a wall or something. You won't be loud enough. But you'll still get background noise, but we'll fix that right now. So just have a slight bounce, just like this. I'll show you one more time. Just that slight little jitter at the very bottom is enough. So once you've lowered this and you see, okay, it's just barely jittering down there, then you can come back to OBS, and this will be up or down wherever it is. You kind of want to like, you'll read a paragraph or a sentence, record, or really just read a paragraph or a sentence, and you want to stay where you're generally right here, probably most of the time in the green, And maybe sometimes when you get excited, like, oh my God, like you'll jump up to the red just a little bit. But for the most part, you want to be in the high greens, mid yellows at most. And then you might still have the background noise. So let's fix that. In order to fix that, we'll go to filters, click, I already added it, but you're going to hit add noise suppression. It's going to add that one. Since I already have one, it's putting a 2, so I'll just cancel that, but it's going to add this guy here. Go ahead and pick a noise suppression. I'm picking the good quality one. And that will make this thing not bounce anymore, because before you do that, it'll be bouncing just like you saw the other thing. So if I don't talk, it's going to, watch, it'll go all the way down. So there you go, no bouncing. The audio is clear, but we minimize the noise, so when it's removing the background noise, it's going to do a good job. In the past, I've had a lot of background noise that I've had to remove, and it kind of makes your voice sound a little almost like auto tune, but not quite. It just sounds weird, like digitized, not as human sounding. But anyway, that's how I got what I think is a pretty good audio setup for recording screens right now.